And now, BillyCBoxing.com presents Thumbs Up, Thumbs Down with Billy C. Here he is, Billy C.
Thanks, Jeremy C. We're coming at you from the Billy C studio in Lake George, New York. I'm Bill Calogero, and it's time for BillyCBoxing.com's Pro Boxing's Thumbs Up and Thumbs Down for today, August 2nd in the year 2012. I just want to remind everybody about the Talking Boxing with Billy C show. Make sure you check it out. There's premium subscriptions available. You can check out the replays, or you can listen live. For all the information, visit BillyCBoxing.com. You don't want to miss that show. 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. Boxing, boxing, boxing. You can also check it out on the Fight Now television channel, which we're psyched about with that as well. Here we go. I got 2 thumbs up, 2 thumbs down for today. First, thumbs up to the ABC, the Association of Boxing Commissioning, for adopting WADA, which is the World Anti-Doping Agency, as their standard in testing for PEDs. I believe that this is a critical move. Now, don't get me wrong here. They're not saying, now you do know the ABC, first let me backtrack for a second. The ABC controls all of the boxing commissions in the United States, including the Native American tribes that have their own commissions. And what they have agreed unanimously on, all the commissions in the United States, is that they are going to agree to the WADA, W-A-D-A, anti-doping list of drugs and performance-enhancing drugs and other supplements or whatever. Their list that's banned will be tested for by everyone. Now, they're not saying that the fighters have to be tested by WADA. There are other options, but they want to use their particular list as the standard. Now, I applaud the ABC for doing this because it puts some structure in there. Not only now do the fighters have a place to go to see what's on the list, but so do their trainers and their nutritionalists and their moms and their aunts and whoever else is feeding them, and it gives them the opportunity to really check to make sure that they know what's going on and what's in their body and what's going to be tested for. At this point, now that this has been established, there will be no excuses. I also believe that because this was established after the fact, the 4 main guys that are notable names like Enzo Maccarinelli, Antonio Tarver, and, of course, Andre Berto and Lamont Peterson, I think they're going to get a second chance because something like this was not in place. They could say, I didn't know, and you can't really deny it, especially with Lamont Peterson's case. With his particular case, there is a stipulation in this procedure that ABC has laid out. If you are under the prescription of a drug that is under the banned substance list, there is a form that you can get an exception for. But the whole thing is you got to report it prior to signing the contract and being tested and all that stuff. So there's all stipulations on how this can work, and I think it's good. I think it's the right move. I've been saying all along that we didn't have enough education about it, and I think now we have the groundwork for that. So I give a thumbs up to the ABC for putting this in place. I also give a thumbs up. You guys are going to be shocked when you hear this, but I'm going to give a thumbs up to ESPN. That's right, I am. Why? Because they took the Adonis Stevenson and Donovan George fight as their main event for their season finale on August 17th. Now, granted, there was a little things that helped that. Tavorius Cloud and Jean Pascal 2 weeks ago was canceled. That was supposed to be on Showtime as the co-main event. The main event was Cloud and Pascal. The co-main event was this fight. We're talking about the Donovan George and Adonis Stevenson. As you know, Jean Pascal hurt his pinky finger, or I don't know what he hurt. He pulled out of the fight. Rumor had it that he wasn't in shape. And the powers that be, felt that Showtime was still going to pick up the Stevenson-George fight because it was such a competitive matchup. But that's not what happened. They said, nah, we don't want it. Now, at the same time, ESPN had scheduled a fight for their finale on August 17th between Mauricio Herrera and Kareem Mayfield, which fell apart because of an injury to Herrera. So, therefore, perfect marriage. So we moved the Stevenson and Donovan George fight over to ESPN. Now ESPN has a very good main event to say goodbye to their short-lived season. So thumbs up to ESPN for making that happen. Thumbs down goes to Anil Bell for making a comeback, man. This guy was a great champion, but it's over, man. His last attempt at a comeback didn't work out as great as he had wanted. I don't know if we really give him the thumbs down, if we give the thumbs down to the promoter. You got to assume the guy needs some money. Nobody wants to get their face smashed in for, shits and giggles. So, I'm convinced that he's doing it for the money. Now my question is who do we blame? Do we blame the fighter who's in desperate situation and needs money, or do we blame a promoter who's willing to support the fact that a guy is well past his prime? Just like we had an email from a listener today on the show that, the bottom line is this. These fighters, a tragedy is waiting to happen with some of these guys that are beyond their prime and shouldn't be fighting, like O'Neal Bell. O'Neal Bell really shouldn't be in this fight. He's fighting against a guy that on paper looks like a bad opponent in Harvey Jolly, who's got a 12-18 record with one draw. But let me tell you, this guy can hit, and he's a slick fighter. So I don't know, man. Thumbs down to O'Neal Bell and whoever else is talking him into coming back. He was a good champ. We should have left it there. And finally, thumbs down has to go to the state of Nevada for letting Floyd Mayweather Jr. out of jail a month early. Listen, I've been giving Floyd kudos all week about the Guerrero fight. I give Floyd kudos all the time about being the best fighter in the world today, pound for pound. There's no question about it, But here's the thing. If it were you and I, and we got charged with all those things, because remember, the deal that Floyd Mayweather and his team cut was to cut this deal to serve 90 days instead of facing all those other criminal charges that could have landed him in jail for well over 30 years. Now, I'm not saying that was a layup that he was going to get 30 years. I'm sure they would have talked them down if he faced all those charges. But he seriously would have done a couple of years, would have ruined his boxing career, wouldn't have made the money he's able to make and all that stuff. So what do? They cut this deal, which they had to do. I felt that Nevada were very lenient on him by giving him 90 days instead of 30 years and dropping all those other charges. I think he got a gift to be in jail for 90 days. I personally predicted he wouldn't do 30. It ends up that he's just about doing 60. I think it's terrible that not only did they slap him on the wrist and give him 90 days, but it's even worse that they're not even making him serve that 90-day. The only reason why I'm giving him a thumbs down, not so much Floyd, because I can't blame him, man. Hey, he beat the system. He only did 60. It's done. It's over. Good for you, Floyd. It's a thumbs down for Nevada, and it's a thumbs down to Nevada because if it were you or me, we wouldn't be off that easy. And you know what? We wouldn't even have got that 90-day deal to begin with. And that's why Nevada gets a thumbs down. Hey, no show tomorrow for thumbs up, thumbs down. Make sure you tune in Monday. Ciao, baby.